Cordial welcome to those of you watching our stream tonight. Talking about Warsong for the Sega Genesis. This was, of course, the only Langrisser game that was ever translated into English. The series does have definitely a following, but I really wanted to demonstrate this. I've wanted to do this stream for a long time and never got around to it until now, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, basically, the thing that makes your Langrisser games a little bit different than some of your other more modern tactical role-playing games is that in the Langrisser series you have a commander who hires a bunch of less powerful disposable units, and your commander being kind of a more powerful unit, and there's kind of a learning curve to this game, but you'll kind of pick it up as you go. And as you can see here, you can kind of preview the enemies that are going to be in this game, are going to be in the scenario anyways, right? So, and this is one of your earlier games that featured winning and losing conditions. I know a lot of your more modern games, like your Luminous Arc is one that pops up to mind, and your Growlancer series features a similar sort of winning and losing situation. This was one of the early games that had that, so let's go ahead. And the thing you'll kind of pick up on this too is you have to actually hire units. You can kind of hire them like here, because it's kind of how you win at this. I guess I'm not explaining it very well, but kind of let's go ahead and just take a look here. So, alright, so yeah, that's the thing, we're short on cash, so you can only have so many here. Okay. One thing about this game, the music's awesome. It really is. There is a story to this game, and you'll kind of pick up on that as we go too. I don't know if the game was translated all that well, but for a game that's this old, you really can. Not these games back then just didn't have the translations that they do now. And a lot of the things that you'll hear about this game is a lot of people claim that this game was poorly programmed, at least the American rendition of it, that the folks at Traco who brought this game over to the U.S. Kind of got lazy with their programming, and said that they have predictable artificial intelligence, and I guess I would agree to that to a certain degree. There is kind of somewhat of a predictable AI to it, in that well, I guess here, let's go ahead and play this. So let me show you a little bit about how to go about this. So your commander can move within the radius that it tells you to. So any of these lighted up squares, you can move your commander to. I think it is beneficial to move your commander before you move your units, because you have a certain radius which they will get their defense and attack bonuses, whereas if they're out of range, it puts you at a disadvantage when attacking a enemy unit. So let me show you what I mean by that. So, see this area right here that's coming up that's green. In fact, it doesn't show you it in the Genesis. Oh, here we go. So any of this area that's green right here is where you can place your... There is definitely a learning curve to this game. So right here, this soldier, okay, would get the attack bonuses in any of the areas that right here. And there's also geography. There's so much to know about this game, so I'm not going to try explaining all of it tonight. I'm just going to play it and hopefully let you'll kind of pick up on it. I've been playing this game since I was pretty little, so I kind of know it pretty well by now. The song is great. I agree with Holy on that one. I think there's even a video of this on YouTube where the guy beats every single enemy in this first scenario. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to end of phase here and kind of watch what happens. Yeah, you're going to get used to hearing that sound a lot, I think. As you notice, I can't point to it here, but you notice they're at 15% geography. If they're in the water, they get a 50% geography bonus, as you can see here. See how they're much more defended this time? The geography is a lot of this stuff. See, they're probably going to be unprotected this time since they're attacking on land. See, only one of them got there. Mermen are kind of a tricky situation when you hire them, but you don't get the ability to until a little bit later in the game. That's if you keep them with Serpent Knight, but maybe I'm spoiling too much, I don't know. Yeah, Holy brought up something about the archers. Actually, it's kind of funny, and maybe I'll bring this up a little bit later, is that when you get into some later scenarios, there's a lot of really depth to this game, even though it seems rather simple in that I think your archers, if they're behind a forest or tree unit, they get a 30% geography bonus. I don't know, I think the manual mentions that. There's actually a hidden class in this game that the manual does not mention, but there's a class called Ranger, which is kind of a... I've never actually achieved it, but I believe it's like one of those units that you can... you don't actually get the ability to hire any units, you just kind of go at it as a commander, so... There is a lot of units, yeah, for sure. Well, the idea isn't necessarily to beat all of these guys, even though it is possible. I've seen it done before. You really just want to escape out of the castle is kind of the object, as you saw in the preview of this scenario. Yeah, where's RPG tonight? Man, he'd probably be digging this one. Yeah, the object of this first one is to escape, and even if you beat all of the characters, or not the characters, if you beat all the units, it's still it's going to give you the same outcome as if you escaped. So. Yeah, those elementals, as you can see there from the High Priest, only appear in 2 scenarios in the game. They're very tough, for sure. Yeah, those are those lizard men's. Yeah, the face is... Okay, so I appreciate you bringing that up. So they did change the artwork a little bit in this game. As I'm sure you've read on Hardcore Gaming 101, they did alter it. You know, this was kind of back in the area before the... back when they tried to censor, if you will, the fact that a game's artwork was from Japan, so... they definitely did that. If you look in the Japanese version of this game, the faces do look quite a bit different. They have more of their original drawings where they look a little bit more Americanized, if you will, in this this rendition. So let's go ahead and let me demonstrate how we do this. Now, you want to use a commander kind of sparingly as he's getting started here. Like what I might want to do, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and try this. Garrett's not terribly strong when you get him started. But he has to start somewhere, so... And although we do have Balderov to get us kind of started here, you generally want to have him come in to kind of weaken the enemy unit, then have Garrett come in for the kill. That way you can raise his experience bar. And I'm not going to use that unit. I'm going to save that for the next round. I'm going to have Baldarov come around this way. And the Horseman can go quite a few units. We don't want to use them just yet. It's kind of a way to gain experience in this first scenario here. And even if Tiburon and Callias, if they pass away or get knocked out in this first round, you can you do get them later in the game. And same for Sabra too. It's only if you're commanding that unit is which you will actually lose them. Yeah, if Garrett were to get knocked out, then yeah, you would lose. But as long as we play it kind of conservatively, then we should be in good shape. You probably wouldn't want to try to knock out that Serpent Knight at this point, for one. Oh, also, if you notice, another thing that's kind of part of the strategy of this game is that if you place your commanding unit next to your commander, then that unit will recover 3 hit points during the next turn. That's during the player phase or the enemy phase, depending on which side you're on. In general, soldiers are able to knock out archers pretty well, but based on the fact that they're being commanded by a Serpent Knight does give them a little bit more of a stat bonus than what the fighter unit, which is what Garrett currently is, can distribute out to his troops. So they're going to weaken our units pretty bad, I have a feeling, with this turn. That one wasn't too bad. Yeah, they do have a little bit of a defense advantage to us currently. The thing that's kind of cool is those guardmen that Callias has are able to knock out lizardmen pretty well. And you kind of want to play this round for cash too, so the more enemy units you knock out, the better off you're going to be, because you do collect money at the end of the scenario. So yeah, the double kills, it's funny because I think in this version you do collect experience for it, but in the PC Engine one, you actually don't. You just, it's like a draw. There's no win, no loss, right? So that's what's a little bit different about this version. It's a push, if you will. See if we can do this. You gotta move this guy over here like so. Oh man, I did it. Wow. Well, I think it concerns me if that Lord gets us at this point, that might not be so great. And it is possible, because we're on a 5 hit points there. We got 5 hit points to work with, but let's play this out and see how this next one goes. Usually if they have less than 7 hit points, by default that enemy will usually attack that unit, so... It's kind of funny, I guess in the Saturn version, Langrisser Dramatic, I have actually leveled the character up enough where it's actually, I think I got Tiburon, or whatever he's called in the Japanese one, leveled up to the next class change in the first scenario one time. I was actually able to do that. Well, it's difficult. Yeah, Holy said it's a lot of levels. It's difficult, but it's possible to do. The thing about the Langrisser games is you have to really essentially kill as much as you can, because it makes it progressively more difficult to advance in the game if you don't. Yeah, see, she's gone. Yeah, those elementals are almost impossible to get at this point in the game. But like I was saying earlier, is you have to essentially kill as much as you can because you want to advance your character, whereas you can't really grind in this game, go back and grind, as it were. Yeah, it's 10 levels for every class change. However, certain classes do require less experience, as it were, than others. Like, for instance, Kalia, she's a warlock. That doesn't take much to level it up, versus something like a High Priestess that takes a lot more to level it up. And funny enough, that Lord actually did not attack the fighter, so we were in a good situation that way at that time. So let's have him come in and attack this guy. And of course, we won't get any experience but that does make it a little bit better for us. Let's see here. Might be able to do this. Let's see here. I'm gonna treat this guy right here. He is, but we're just not ready to attack him yet. Yeah, we can't move him yet. I don't even... Yeah, we're still in range there. Alright, we got up to level 2. Okay. Let's see if we can move this guy here. But we're not going to attack him yet. I really want Garrett to kill that guy if we can. But if we decide to later, then we'd be in good shape. I don't think Kalias is going to last much longer, but like I said, unless you're actually commanding that unit, then you don't lose it. Now, the thing that you do have to be careful of, as opposed to like the Shining Force games where you can revive your character, just go to the priest and pay a certain number of coins and get your character back if they get knocked out. In this game, you have to be considerably more careful, because if you lose one of your characters and you do command that unit, they're out for the rest of the game. Now, they did change that in some of the later Langrisser games, but in this version, if they get knocked out, they're gone. So you really have to play the game really carefully that way. I've heard stories about guys who bought this game secondhand, and they've gotten to like, what is it? The one where you have to fight the Kaiser, and they, yeah, Fire Emblem's the same way. They fight the Kaiser in this game, which comes a little bit later, and they only had like Garrett and maybe one other commander to work with. And I mean, at that point, you're really screwed, because it's very difficult to control the game like that. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. So we might be able to pull this off with 8 versus 5. Let's see if we can. This could be a good fight. Let's see if we can do this. If not, then I would prefer 10 versus 2, but nope, didn't work out. So in order to play it on the safe side, I'm going to go ahead and have this guy knock him out. Yeah, fighting a Lord versus a fighter is not the greatest option at this point, but you have to kind of go for it in order to get the experience. At least we got Garrett up 1 level, and that's what we really needed going into Scenario 2. Now, Scenario 2, when we get there, is going to be a little bit easier because the monsters have a really low defense. It does make for easily leveling up when we need it. And we knocked that lizardman out right there. Unfortunately, I don't think Kalias will last much longer. But that's alright at this point, I guess. You really can't let your warlocks get attacked too much because their defense is so puny. And she's gone. That elemental, there is absolutely no way you can beat those guys. Well, even though, like I said, I have seen a video where somebody actually knocked out everything in this first... Yeah, I know. Jessica, as it were. Kalias, Jessica, whatever you want to call her, depending on what language you're playing it in. Okay. So let's go ahead and finish this off right here. Basically, all we have to do is get to this. I don't know if it's possible to... No, I guess you have to get Garrett to that point. We could stick around and fight some more stuff, but I think for the purpose, we're just going to go ahead and try to get Garrett to the goal. I don't know how they killed the... I mean, I think they had the king fight the elementals, and it is possible that if you have King Alphador, he will stick around. I mean, he does have very high attack and defense, so if it gets to that point, I think he says, "I pray you survive, Garrett," and he actually can fight those elementals and beat them with his stats that he has. Like, here we... Oh, well, I guess he didn't attack the king, but as you can see, you get quite a bit of... There we go. See, the king also has quite a bit of experience to build. It is possible to get Garrett to the level of king. We'll get that a little bit later. King is a class in this game, yeah. You can either move Garrett to a either a high, or it's not a high, a magic knight or a king. And now putting it as a king will make the game, the second half of the game, significantly easier. So keep that in mind when you get to that point right there. I think the first time I ever played through this, I chose to make him a magic knight, and I don't know whether that was a good move or not, but there we go. Okay, so we just ended the scenario with that right here. So those are the units that we were able to knock out. We got 1,000 coin bonus, as it were. So we go ahead and save this here. Okay. So this is the second scenario where you have to basically lead Mina and her group of citizens to the end of the map in order to advance on to the third scenario here. It's a little bit harder, but a little bit easier, and you'll see why in just a minute. So the trick here with this scenario is you want to hire quite a few soldiers, but you actually want to hire archers, and I'll tell you why. Because archers will get the barbarians that you're going to face down to a hit point low enough where it won't kill them, but it will weaken them, where you can always have Garrett come in for the kill. And that's kind of what you want to go for in this first. So I'm going to hire one more soldier there. We don't have any items to work with at this point. I'm gonna have, there we go. So we're gonna try and fight these guys right here. They're not too strong. I'm actually not going to attack that unit right here, but we want to save. I feel like we're going to get all our units burned out if we do that. So what we want to do with this guy right here is we want to build them up where it's just going to weaken them and not actually knock them out at this point. We want to save that experience as much as we can for Garrett. See what I mean? It'll weaken them, but it won't actually destroy the unit. You also want to try to protect the citizens as much as possible. I don't know, some claim the Genesis music is better, while others say the PC Engine and the Saturn have the best music. I think they're all pretty good. Hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. We have RPG joining us this evening. Oh, goodness. We're going to attack the citizens here. Kind of reminds me of that game show 1 versus 100. You have 10 versus 10! No, it is not Fire Emblem. This is Warsong, the Sega Genesis. I guess it's comparable in some ways to Fire Emblem, but part of the Langrisser series. That's what let's see here. You kinda missed us? Alright, so let's go ahead and attack that unit right there. Only lost one that way. I want to try to, hopefully, we might not be able to get a level up just yet, but we can get darn close. Got to level 3 there. There we go. This is what I'm gonna do for this one right here. Oh goodness. If we go out on this one, that's not going to be so good. Well, we got there. Not bad. Ah, dang it. Ugh. That is not what I wanted to happen, but sometimes you just can't do much about it. There we go, we saved 2 of them. Ah, dang it, that's not what I wanted to do. Shucks. That's the other thing you have to be careful of in this game, is that if you knock out a commander, you kill all the surrounding units, which is great because we didn't kill any of the citizens that way, but unfortunately we won't get any of the experience either, so we just missed out on that, so that's not so good. But we'll make up for it later, that's alright. So we're going to go ahead and end the phase there. I don't know that I've ever made it with in all the times I've played this game over the years, I don't know if I've ever made it where I moved all the citizens safely to the next area. I don't know if I've ever accomplished that. I'd have to really think about that one. So we really got to get up on the map before that next wave of enemies goes in. Hopefully we can get as many kills in the next group as possible. We also have to save as many of Garrett's units as we can, because we've only got 4 left at this point. And that's going to be increasingly tough with the numbers that we have to work with here. Maybe we can pull it off, though. I don't know. Let's see, it's more important that we get them up the map, I think, at this point. We also need to treat them, but we can't do that quite yet. You also want to align your units like that because you'll recover 3 hit points as being next to their commander there. But if you treat, you also lose your turn, so you keep that in mind. Yeah, we'll just let the computer do the whole thing for us. I don't know, sometimes the computer AI tends to arrange your units in kind of a funky way if you let it do it by auto. If you do it yourself, then you kind of arrange them kind of however you want to. See how it does it? It always puts it in that weird shape like that, where it has your commander in the dead center, and then it builds like a diamond around there. I don't know why it does that. I guess it's just how they programmed the game originally. Watch, Garrett's units are going to recover here. There we go. So the odds are looking a little bit better for us, but we still need to move up the map. We can take care of that commander a little bit later. So with this next group, well, that's the thing you have to be really careful of, is that you have to... I kind of messed up there a little bit, because the citizens are not gonna... He does have a little bit more of a range bonus than some of the other units do. I've actually had it happen where I've got Garrett to a knight in this first knight or a lord, whichever you choose in this second scenario here. I think it's only happened once, maybe twice. So they didn't knock out any of the citizens that time. Let's see what we can do here. It gets a little more exciting this go around. There we go. Sara and Holy, what's your favorite Langrisser game? Dare Langrisser? I like Langrisser 4. Yeah, I do too. That was one of my favorites. Langrisser 4, yeah, I like the music to it. Also, I mean... Yeah, Dare Langrisser is a really cool one. I have Dare Langrisser FX for the PC FX. I need to play that again sometime. I wanted to do a Langrisser cosplay at one point, but I couldn't find anybody that was interested in doing that with me. So... I've always figured, the girl who I was going to do it with, she was like, that armor's got to be insane to make that on there, but she was, I think she was part of the Growlancer community on LiveJournal a long time ago or something like that. Yeah, the citizens, the thing about that is they're kind of your NPCs, and you don't really get a bonus for bringing them over successfully, but you want to, I guess part of the object is you want to drive them to the next area without killing them if possible. So, but you don't get a bonus or a penalty either way, so. Okay. Let's try this. Let's see if we can weaken them and then have Garrett come in for the kill. give a little more attacking range. If we can get him to level 5, I think that would put us in a pretty good position for this next, going into this next round here. Sometimes Mina will come and heal your units. She doesn't always do that. I was hoping to get him right here to this spot, but that's not covered in our range bonus there, so. Let's see if we can move him to this spot. Oh yeah, we can. Okay, cool. That's the treat portion that I talked about. You recover 3 hit points, but you lose your turn when you do that, so use it kind of sparingly. Man, they are just killing us with this magic. Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do about the citizens, unfortunately. So. Oh, there's that shaman. We almost forgot about him. Got him up to level 4, that's pretty good. Alright, so we have 1 to work with next time around. That'll be an easy kill. Be careful. Let's see here. Oh, Mina got it. Okay, I can live with that. She's kind of harder to level up, so the fact that she got that experience point isn't so bad. I was about to say, if that citizen gets a hit point against that guy, I'm going to be laughing. It's happened before, though. That guy is just not going to give up. Where is it? Right. weakened him down. Hopefully that'll be the last treatment we have to do for a while. I'm going to move him like that for a reason, because I don't want the stat bonuses to get in there. But I want to weaken that guy down, so I'm willing to sacrifice a unit for that purpose. Maybe the same for this dude down here. Ah, didn't want to do that, but okay. As long as we get this guy right here, we should be in decent shape. We got 2 more waves of enemies right here, and then we'll be done with this scenario. This is a game you have to have a lot of patience to play. It's not one of those games you just kind of pick up and leisurely kind of go at it. Or I guess you could, but really got to know what you're... It takes a long time to play through it, you know what I mean? Let's see if we can get through this guy right here. What I think I remember reading it in the magazines when I was a kid about Lunar the Silver Star for Sega CD, and I thought it looked so cool, you know, because it had that anime kind of graphics, back when anime graphics were really kind of edgy and cool and stuff, and I remember it reading, you know, the good and the bad and the ugly. I can't remember which magazine said. I think I want to say it was Game Pro or something like that, but they said the good about it is it takes a long time to play through Lunar the Silver Star, but the bad news is you'll probably only play through it once, you know? There we go. I didn't like the PSP version of Lunar. I sold that. I guess I come from the era of Lunar where Lunar was on a single speed CD. You had 512 colors to work with, and you had cheesy voice acting. Yeah, the PS1 version's pretty decent, I guess. I think, in fact, I remember reading Working Designs was planning on, before they came out with Lunar Silver Star Story Complete, they were planning on doing, I think, a version for the Sega Saturn, which was kind of their main focus at the time. Called Lunar Director's Cut. And I can't remember, there was a lot of politics between Sega of America and Working Designs at the time, and it pissed off a lot of fans. They were really looking forward to Lunar, the director's cut of Lunar on Saturn, but it never came to be. But we ended up getting Lunar Silver Star Story, which was I think their best-selling game of all time, if I remember correctly. So you take the good with the bad. And when it comes to my I don't know if you would even have any ability to research this anymore, but on their website, it used to show which CD prints. They used to have I think there were 8 different CD prints to the original Lunar the Silver Star, and I have CD print number 2, in case you ever have the ability to look up that information. Kind of like the Magic Knight Rare for the Saturn has 3 different discs with each of the characters from Magic Knight Rare on it. I can't remember. I think the Umi disc was the rarest of the 3, if I remember correctly. No, not the Super Nintendo Magic Knight Rare. In fact, I have to disagree with you there. I thought that game was horrible. It's fully translated, which is great, but, I mean, if the game sucks, then... The Saturn version of it's pretty cool, but the Super Nintendo version of that, I'm sorry, yeah. There are better Magic Knight Rare games, if that's not one of them. It's one of those very low-budget RPGs, in my opinion. Most of the thing about games that are based off of animes is that they're kind of hit or miss. A lot of times they rely on the show in order to sell the game, and you know, when you're relying on a license to sell your game, it's kind of hit or miss. Let's see where we are here. We started talking about games so much that I forgot about what we were doing here. Alright, so let's see here. Oh, the anime is great. It's just the games, you know, sometimes the games aren't always... Yeah, in fact, I think that's one of Sara and Holy's favorite shows or something like that. What it tries to do in this game is it tries to split up your troops here, where you have one side going, but the best way to do it is to, we could, you know what, I would stream the Magic Knight Rareth game. The only thing is I cannot find a decent emulator for the Saturn. I've tried. Now, what I could do is I could hook up my Saturn to a video capture card and try to do it that way. I wouldn't mind doing that. Oh, the anime. Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty easy. There is a story behind the Magic Knight Rareth game for the Saturn, how it almost didn't get released over here. But I'll save that for the stream if we ever do it. Maybe I'll play that for a future show. We'll have to see. We'll see if there's enough demand for it. By the way, as I was talking to the group earlier, one of our streams, our stream of Hey Punk Are You Tough Enough or Dead Dance, has over 250 views now. So our you know, the ratings are getting there, the views are getting there. Alright, we got to level 5. And when you get to level 5, that's kind of a milestone for your character, because there is a slight advantage to getting to level 5 in terms of your attack bonus. A level 5 character will have a little bit more advantage than, say, a level 1, 2, 3, or 4. So... yeah, you gotta promote. That's what you gotta do. Alright, in this phase right here. Yeah, I was talking to, it's funny, I had promoted our show, Wingdreams, when I was on the train to MAGFest this year. I was talking to a girl, she was from Buffalo, New York, and her name was Kate, and she never heard of our stream, but she is one of the other shows that's very similar to ours. It's Obscure Game Theater on YouTube, and so I told her about Wingdreams on the train ride to MAGFest, and she was like, oh yeah, check it out, and she, and I think Obscure Game Theater, I think, does kind of a lot of the stuff that we do, like, I think they have done Live before. In fact, it's kind of funny, I started talking to her about that game. She was like, you know what Live is? I was like, you better believe it. So I've heard, I've never played through it, but I know what it is. That's the cool thing about MAGFest, is you go there and, like, everybody speaks your language. It's incredible. No, well, game show host, well, I don't know if they speak that language, but they definitely speak the video game language. Yeah. If they speak video games, I'm pretty happy. Like obscure games, not your Call of Duty and Guitar Hero. I mean, like actual video games. There's a difference between. I hope you'll agree with me. It's like some proclaim that Call of Duty and Guitar Hero is like video games. I'm like, that's not really video games. To me, that's part of the American culture. You know, that's the way I see it. we got him up to level 6. Got a few more to go before we get to 10 to get our first class change there. I feel if we wouldn't have knocked out that group of enemies down here, we might have had a better chance of getting our first class change in this scenario, but we may have already ruled that out, I'm not sure. Okay, let's try to do this here real fast. Treat. Well, you know what? I might do this, right? Because if we attack within 8 hit points, it's not gonna... There we go. We gotta treat him, but at least we can knock him out next time. There is quite a bit of stuff I'd like to stream for Saturn if we ever have the opportunity. I do have a working Saturn on me, but need to invest in a digital capture card, which I think would help us out. There's also some stuff for PS2, which I'd like to do sometime. Wanted to try Shadow Hearts, which is one of my absolute favorite PS2 games. Kind of funny, when Shadow Hearts came out, like, nobody ever heard of it. It's one of those sleeper hits. Big Rigs? I don't think I've ever heard of that one. What is that about? I've heard of Big Mother Truckers. They reviewed that on Reviews on the Run and Judgment Day. I'm gonna pass. I think it's kind of funny you mentioned the collision detection. I think they used to. That was one of Tommy Tallarico's favorite things to mock on Reviews on the Run and Judgment Day. Is I think, what was it? There was a game called Backyard Wrestling 2. There goes the neighborhood. And he was like, Backyard Wrestling 2. There goes the graphics. Collision detection was like non-existent in that game. Backyard Wrestling 2, there goes the audio. There goes. I got to meet Tommy Tallarico at MAGFest. He is like the coolest guy ever. He really is. I was selling games with Carlson, and what was it? He comes up to our booth, and I was talking to him, and he was just kind of looking at stuff, and I was like, Tommy Tallarico? He's like, yeah, and I went and talked to him, and he was just really cool. And he points at one of the games we had at our booth. We had a copy of MC Kids for the Nintendo, and he looks at it, he was like, MC Kids, that's one of the first games I ever worked on. I was like, oh, that's really neat, Yeah, I wanted to almost buy that for myself and have him sign it, but some guy came and snagged it up. before I had that chance. I so wish I would have brought my copy of Aladdin and have him sign it. But, because he worked on the audio to that game. The 16-bit Genesis Aladdin, that is. Okay. Got him up to level 7, so we're doing pretty good. Oh, Wind Waker HD, yeah. I think what Tommy used to say on the reviews on the run, he was like, what did he say about Wind Waker? He was like, he felt like they should have put some actual spoken dialogue in that game, and it was all still scrolling text in Wind Waker. This was, of course, back when it was on the Nintendo GameCube. It's all digital now, I guess, on the Wii U or whatever. Voice acting is definitely very expensive. That's why Vic Ireland decided never to do Princess Maker 2 over here, even though they looked at the Saturn. They looked at releasing it on the Saturn for a while. As he says, one, the license was too complicated, and two, it has a ton of spoken dialogue in it. And considering how expensive it is to record spoken dialogue, they passed on it. Probably gonna knock out this guy right here. Got him to level 8. We might be able to pull this off. Let's see here. I've looked into doing voice acting, like y'all have mentioned, but it doesn't pay as much as you'd think it would, even though I do have a great voice. Everybody says so. Still, it would be kind of cool to do audio for a game.
I have a friend who actually just started his own series of streams, and he's going on tour, believe it or not, with his streaming group, which I think is kind of neat. He's kind of a longtime friend of mine. The guy I do Gilliam and Parker's reviews with, which is the other kind of recorded segment I do with a friend of mine. Brandon, his name's Brandon, and he joins us on some of those streams that we do, and he has his own series of streams that he's been doing. So I guess I won't. Maybe on the next program I'll try to see if I can cross promote it or something like that. Oh dear. I don't think I've ever had this happen where they attacked him. Oh goodness, ooh, yeah, we need to get over there. I think, the funny thing is, I think, if Mina dies, you're not in good shape. Wouldn't that be a shame if we've come all this way and we weren't able to... Goofing off too much, I think. Yeah, RPG says something about getting to voice acting. The thing you have to understand, and I know this because I have a really close friend who's like not just, a nobody at Funimation. He's like a really, almost kind of a big executive at Funimation. I've known him for years and years and years. His name is Walter Parrington, and the thing about doing voice acting and stuff is they get hundreds of demo reels every month, and so I do know for a fact that if you're looking to do voice acting, yeah, there's the competition aspect of it, but you really have to know how to audition is kind of the key to landing roles in those series. So not just having a great voice, but knowing how to audition is just as important as having the voice to do it. I think I haven't really announced this yet, but I guess for the purpose of the broadcast, I may be taking a voice kind of a voice workshop a little bit later this year with someone in Los Angeles. I'm not going to reveal too much information about that, but that is something I am looking into. It's kind of funny. I read a story one time about. I heard a story about someone who, back when ADV Films was kind of a bigger name in anime, and they went to one of their auditions, and it's kind of funny, the guy felt so embarrassed. They felt like they were absolutely wasting their time. They had no idea how to audition for a role. They had never done that before, and it's just, if you don't know what you're doing, then you don't want to waste your time with those guys, because I mean, they have a lot of really professional actors that come to those things. And the thing you never, ever, ever want to do on your resume, if you ever do send in a demo reel, is you never put any fan dubs or fan work that you've done. Like, for instance, if you had landed a role, quote unquote, in a Sailor Moon Stars fan dub, as it were, you don't want to put that on your resume. The reason why, it's like, would you ever apply to be a pharmacist and then put drug peddling on your resume? Probably not, I mean, so I guess that's kind of a little humorous way of kind of putting it, but I think you get what I'm saying by that. For experience, yes, but not for professionalism. You only want to put like professional things that are like IMDb worthy on your resume if you're looking into doing that. That would be my suggestion to you if you really are considering doing that. I'm not trying to sound discouraging. I'm just kind of telling you the reality of someone who knows a lot of people in the industry. So. Man, we've been going for an hour and a half already? Jeez Louise. Well, I don't know that person, but you can definitely send him my way, and I'll talk to him if you want. Like I said, I do have some friends that work for Funimation. They're located here in Texas, where I live. So I'm not saying I can get them an open audition or anything, but I can at least kind of guide him. Maybe guide him in the right direction. So, all right, let's see here. If we can get him to level 10 at the end of this, I think that'd be really good. Let's see here. We may be, if we're not, I don't know if we can get to level, we're going to be darn close to it though, if we do both of those kills there. At least Mina won't be killed in this scenario, which is what we really wanted, because that would have ended the scenario right there, I believe. By the way, guys, this is going to take me a while to upload, so don't expect this one right away. I am Slim the Slime, yes. I'm glad you remembered. Alright, here, let's see. Got to level 9, so I don't know if we're going to get, I kind of doubt we're going to get to that one that I really wanted to. Well, we could try it. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be quite enough experience. We got darn close, though. Yeah, we came close, but no cigar. Weren't able to get the class change there that time. That'll probably be the first thing we'll do in the next scenario. But that'll be on our next show right here. I think we've had long enough broadcast for the night. Darn. So close and yet so far. At least we picked up quite a bit of cash. Alright guys, well, we're going to pick this up on our next program. I really appreciate y'all joining us tonight. It's been fun as always, and we'll see you next time. This is Gillum Neighbor signing off.